So when we talk about your road to the sale, it's important to know that 3+ hours, that is unrealistic. And slower is not better. Your customers don't like it, okay? Today's up has spent over 19 hours looking at information online. They've seen more than 24 different sources of information. They showed up at your lot ready to buy. They came here for step 6, didn't they? The demo drive. But what did your team do as soon as they arrived? We took them right back to square one, okay? Right back to step 1. That's why you're blowing them out. That's why you're closing only 1 out of 5 traditional ups. They hate your road to the sale. Autotrader.com tells us that less than 0.5% like the current car buying process. Why? It's long, it's clunky, it has unnecessary steps. Also, they tell us 73% of people will drive farther for a great salesperson versus 65% who will drive farther for the lowest price. And finally, 2/3 of consumers are more likely to buy from dealerships that offer a preferred buying experience. Moreover, 80% of your ups, they don't buy from you if you're running a traditional road to the sale. I know you probably want to disagree with me on this because you're showing a higher percentage of ups that you're closing, but that's because your salespeople aren't putting all the ups in the CRM. We know that, don't we? Our studies prove that 4 out of 5 ups leave your dealership without buying. You're only closing 1 out of 5 if you're an average dealership running a typical road to the sale. Now, if 4 out of 5 people are leaving your lot, and we know buyers visit just 1.6 lots on average before buying, what is our road to the sale doing to them today? Okay? Did our road to the sale, the experience that we gave them, did it encourage them to buy somewhere else at the next place? Or did it encourage them to hold off completely right now? Push them 3 months out, 6 months out? Because we took them back to square one. They found value, they found relevancy, they came to you for authenticity, they came to buy the vehicle, and your silly road to the sale blew them out, didn't it? See, it's back to creating a better buying experience and becoming known for this experience. This means you need to move to a road to the sale that's simple, that's seamless, that's transparent and fun. Remember the 4 things that consumers want in your process: simple, seamless, transparent, fun. And it's one where we take charge. It's a process where we take charge and we guide them through the entire thing. So instead of a road to sale, let's call it a buying process, okay? Now, why should we do a buying process? Hey, make no mistake, they hate your current process. They really do. They've already completed a lot of things. Let's look at what they've already completed before they ever showed up. Everyone's done a needs analysis, right? That's why it's a buying process. Everyone's completed their product selection before they ever got to your lot. Everybody knows the car's features. Everybody is ready to test drive. And everything you do should be a trial close because of this. We're going to assume everyone starts the paperwork, and we're going to assume that everyone is a qualified buyer. See, everyone is a buyer. Why? Because we know buyers only visit 1.6 lots on average before they buy. If they're not a buyer here, then they're going to buy from our neighbor. We've got to treat everybody like a buyer. We need to assume they're here for a delivery. So when we talk about assuming someone is here to buy, this is a new form of what you may have heard called assumptive selling. Assumptive selling in the past focused on making the customer take ownership, right? So assumptive selling with something like this, and Bob, how will you be titling your Mustang? Okay, that's how you do assumptive selling. It makes the customer take ownership in their mind. It's old school, but still do it. You should be doing that. That kind of assumptive selling. Hey, Bob, how will you be titling your Mustang? That's assumptive selling. But you also have to assume the sale, right? As a salesperson, I have to assume they're buying. I need to treat them like they've already bought. It's just a formality now that they're here to test drive and do all these other things like paperwork. Because here's what you're doing right now. Your salespeople are assuming that 4 out of 5 are not buyers. You know why? Because that's their experience. 4 out of 5 people don't buy. Let's start assuming that 5 out of 5 are buyers, and you'll be shocked at how many you close. Now, our buying process should start with their first interaction with us. This means all the stuff we do offline, right? The messaging and our marketing and our reputation, everything that we do offline, that offline messaging, anything we do online, right? That should all be. So they haven't interacted with us, but it's what they saw. They saw that we're easy. We're doing all these things, right? That we're simple. All these things that CarRight claims to do, we do, right? We take people right through the process. But then we also need, when they start interacting with us, like lead response, right? When they submit a lead and we're responding to them, we need to provide authenticity. We need to have a process. We need to take charge. We need to be direct, and we need to guide them. So in our lead response, when we do it on the phone or when we're on the lot, we still need those same things, authenticity and process, where we take charge, we're direct, and we guide them. Now, What's our buying process look like? Listen, it's a one goal strategy, which is the next step. It's a natural progression. It's a closing process, if you will. We're going to speak human. We're going to have a conversation with people when we take them through our buying process. And we're going to talk as if we're selling to a friend because we're going to provide authenticity. And let me give you the opposite of authenticity, just so you know what I'm talking about. Somebody steps on our lot and we ask them what vehicles they're here to see. And they say, hey, we're here to see this used minivan that you've got on Auto Trader. Is it still in stock? Authenticity is, it absolutely is. Let me get your driver's license. Let's go ahead and scan it so you can take it out on a test drive. Because that's what you would talk to a friend about. But what is your team saying today? Your team is still trying to do needs analysis, right? Your team is saying things like, well, is it just minivans you're looking at, or are you also looking at midsize SUVs? That's inauthentic. And you have now taken me from the potential that I'm going to buy to ensuring that I am now a VBAC for you because I'm leaving, okay? By the way, efficiency is key in our buying process. So if you remember from the earlier parts, today's connected customer wants speed and they want quality without attitude, and that will equal money in your pocket. Now, if you have an appointment culture in place, if you learn the appointment culture from my other training, you don't need to ask road to the sale questions, do you? You're not asking those silly road to the sale questions like, is it just minivans you're looking at, or are you also looking at midsize SUVs? Plus, if we assume the sale, those road to the sale questions or road to sale steps, by the way, can all be completed concurrently.